Something happened to me. Something I haven't talked about for 20 years. Not because I was afraid no one would believe me. Worse, I was afraid they would believe me and start asking questions I don't have answers to. But now, sitting in this mildew-stinking apartment, staring at that flickering light bulb, I get it. If I don't tell someone right now, I'm gonna burst. I work in the Mason County Archives, West Virginia. Boring as hell job, paper dust, old maps, genealogy requests. A month ago, they asked me to digitize a box of audio cassettes from police storage. According to the labels, interrogation tapes from a case everyone around here chose to forget, the Lavender House case. Creepy name, right? But I didn't care back then. I cracked open the first cassette. The tape reeked of vinegar, stung my nostrils. I popped it in the deck, hit play. You know that saying, curiosity killed the cat. My cat would have been dead the very first night, because the tape was almost completely degraded. But what was left stopped my blood cold. I rewound it, listened again. It was the same damn clip, a fragment of an interrogation, playing over and over and over. An old cop's voice, all gravel and grit. You're trying to tell me that in the basement of the Lavender House, something lives? And the answer, female, quiet, like rustling paper. Not lives, and not something. That's it. Silence. And the smell of vinegar. I'm an archivist. I dig. That's what I do. Second tape, third tape, nothing. Just static, hissing, maybe a scrap of a date, 1987, October. On the fifth tape, I got lucky, and I am still sorry I didn't stop right there. There was a long fragment, almost 4 whole minutes. The same cop, name of Gallagher, and a girl. By her voice, real young, Sara Crowe. Gallagher asks her, "Miss Crowe, you claim you witnessed the murder of your parents?" Sara goes quiet for 5 long seconds. Then she speaks, and an ice-cold hand just squeezes my spine. I wasn't a witness. I was the executioner. The body just didn't know it was dead yet. I told it. You get that? No knife, no gun. She told it. I rewound. Listened again. Gallagher breathing heavy into the mic. Sara goes on. It's dark in the basement, but the darkness is different. It's sticky. It strokes your hair. It says, "Tell them, Sara, tell them to come." I didn't believe it. Not at first. But then one night, Daddy hit me. I went down to the basement to cry, and I heard breathing, coming from a crack in the foundation. I put my lips to the concrete, and I whispered its name. The next morning, Daddy collapsed in the kitchen. Just collapsed. Black ooze coming out of his mouth. Mom ran for the phone. Fell in the hallway. Same black ooze. Call an ambulance, but an ambulance won't help. The black stuff isn't blood anymore. It's the saliva of the basement. I let the tape roll. Gallagher. Sara, why did you bring us here? We arrested you. Sara. So you'd go down into the basement. He's hungry. I promised him 6. You and your men in the house. That makes exactly 6. Count them. You can hear Gallagher's chair crash backwards, shouting. And then, the sound. I don't know how to describe it. Imagine a low-frequency groan and a laugh mixed together. Infrasound. The headphones actually vibrated on my skull. My teeth ached. You couldn't make out words anymore, just that hum. And then silence. And then Sara's voice, right up against the mic, like she leaned in close. A whisper. You're listening to this, aren't you? I know you are. Come to the Lavender House. The basement is still hungry. I saved it a spot. The recording cut. I jumped up, almost knocked over my desk, ripped the headphones off. My ears were ringing, my head spinning. But one thought just kept buzzing in my head, like a fly against glass. She was talking to me. She knew someone would hear this 30 years later. And you want to know the worst part? I checked. It's 2026 now. 2026. On that tape, she was 18. By now, she'd be almost 60. But I found an old internet article about a fire at the Weston Asylum, 2003. Among the dead, Sara Crowe. They identified her body by dental records because everything else was ash. And the staff reports before the fire? She was eating, They fed her, but she was wasting away. Like something was sucking the life out of her from the inside. And she was always drawing. The walls of her padded cell were covered in drawings, a black mouth, a black hole, and all around it, little stick figures falling in. Right then, I should have come to my senses. Burned the tapes, forgotten everything. But I'm an archivist, which means I'm an idiot. The case file had the address of the Lavender House, a 5-hour drive. I got there at dusk. Abandoned house, just like you'd expect. Peeling paint, shutters hanging crooked. But the smell almost knocked me flat. Lavender, wild lavender had swallowed the whole property, an ocean of it. The wind made purple waves and the smell was so thick, so cloying, so sweet it made me sick to my stomach. And I felt sick because underneath the lavender there was another smell. The smell of something buried. I don't know how I got out, how I drove home. I just remember standing in the shower, scrubbing the scent off my skin, staring into the drain, and it felt like warm air was coming up from there too. For 2 weeks I tried to live a normal life, but sleep was gone. Because every time I closed my eyes, I felt the basement calling me, not with words, with a feeling, like I'd left something unfinished. And you know what I did yesterday? I pulled out the last tape from the box, the 6th one, the one I hadn't touched, and I listened to it. It was Sara. "Ethan," she said, "don't torture yourself. You're already there. You left the basement physically, but you carried a tiny little black hole out with you, right there in your chest. It's growing. You'll try to fill it with food, with sleep, with love. It won't work, because it needs something else. It needs others. Bring it the first one and you'll feel better, for a while." I turned off the recording, and I laughed, because I realized something. For the last 3 days, my neighbor's cat has been sitting outside my door. It never came near me before. Now it just sits and watches, and I'm afraid to go out, because I've got this itching, animalistic primal urge to kneel down and whisper that name into its ear, just to see what happens. And the scariest part? I know one day I'm going to do it. Maybe even tomorrow, because the basement is waiting. And it's not in West Virginia anymore. It's inside me.